Hi everyone, this is Esme of Wandering Star Planner here, and I am here to talk about how to use the 2025 version of the Wandering Star Planner. So let's get started with the birth chart section. So when you buy the planner, you will get something that looks like this. Whether you're buying the inserts, I have the inserts here put in a cover from Staples or Office Depot. The two kind of brands are almost indistinguishable. Or if you buy the spiral bound, when you open the cover, you get the exact same thing. So we start off with the glyph key, a little welcome, some information about how to get started with astrology, and then we dive right into your birth chart. So this is the page I want to talk about first in terms of how to fill it out. You will want to get a copy of your birth chart. So I've printed out a couple versions of birth charts from free astrology softwares that you can find online. This one is from astro.com and this is from astro-seek.com. So these are both free chart calculators. There are many others. You'll get something that looks more or less along the lines of these. When I calculate a chart, just to give some perspective, I do it super simple. This is what I do. I like to leave the aspects blank to see what kind of calls my attention as I work with the chart. So I just offer that as a, it's okay to keep it simple. Sometimes a little goes a long way with astrology, or less is more. So what we're going to do here is that we're just going to look at the rising sign. So on this chart, it's labeled with the AC. On this chart, ASC, same thing. So we can see that Libra and Libra. So we're using Venus Williams as an example today. And we're going to put Libra as her rising sign. So we would draw it over here, and we would also draw it over here. All right, and then we would continue around the chart. And you can see, you can just read the signs that go around the edge of your birth chart and go from there until you get all the way to the end. Excuse my handwriting. I am not the most skilled at hand lettering or being neat, but I like these pens because they kind of make me feel okay about that. Sometimes I have found choosing a good pen and just slowing down can kind of make a big difference. So this is basically our first step in transferring a birth chart over from a computer printout to something that is going to be a little more fun to work with. And then we're going to look at the planets in her chart and we're going to draw them in. I'm going to forego Pluto and Ceres for now. This chart doesn't even show Ceres. Those are both dwarf planets you can choose to work with if you want, but we're going to try to keep it super simple. So she does have Uranus in Scorpio and Neptune in Sag and Sun and Venus conjunct in Gemini. You'll notice I'm not writing the degrees in. If you're working with degrees, feel free to write them in. But by no means feel like you have to. I didn't leave myself enough room. I'll fit them in. All right, Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn in Virgo. And then we come here. Her ascendant is 13 Libra. It's right smack in the middle of Libra. I'll just write that 1 degree in. Okay, so now you can see I've copied over her birth chart. This is a way that I like working with the birth chart. I find the practice of writing it in by hand is really, really useful, and just helps me absorb the information of a birth chart a lot better than just looking at something like this. And yes, I vote to simplify. You'll be surprised how much you can get from a simplified chart. And then I'll go around the outside here and just do exactly the same thing that I did when I was setting up the first birth chart, except this is a chart for the house keywords. And I will say more about that in just a minute. And here we go. Okay, so we are cooking here. So why do I have these next to each other? Well, learning how to navigate your birth chart, astrology assigns the houses numbers. So on this side of the chart, I've put them really bold here around the outside next to the keywords. And then the birth chart, I have them here kind of lighter in the center. Many charts that print them out kind of keep them in the center pretty light. Yeah, I think all of these charts kind of have them pretty light here. So I don't do like numbers. I don't love numbers. So for me, talking about like the second house has never been super useful, because then in my brain I have to kind of like transfer it over and be like, okay, so second house, so what are my keywords for that? Money, possessions. So I've just kind of put the keywords here so that you can see the keywords in relation to each other and the keywords in relation to like what's going on in her chart. So you can almost imagine this as like you could impose this over the birth chart and look at the keywords. So you could say her first house of herself has Libra in it. So that sign of Libra, the cardinal quality, the balancing properties, the air element, as well as it being her chart ruler, her first house, that is how she presents herself to the world. Her house, 7th house, others and partnership, has Aries. Her 10th house of her calling and career is Cancer. Her 4th house of where she's from and her roots is Capricorn. So you'll see this on your chart. You'll see what signs are ruling the different keyword topics, the different areas of your life, like what signs are affecting that. And then you can look at your birth chart and see where are the planets. So interesting, she has Mercury in her 10th house of calling and career and in Cancer. She has the moon in her 11th house of groups and collective, and that's in Leo. There's a lot I could say about her chart, but for now, we're just going to take it to here. So I encourage you to get a printout of your birth chart through some free astrology software and transfer it over into the planner, and write your signs on both pages. We're going to work with this a lot more in the pages to come. All right, so this is the first video in a series of videos about how to use the 2025 planner. Keep watching for more.